What is up, my villains and heroes, my players and professionals? This is the Violence Enthusiast coming at you with a video today about a subject I shouldn't have to talk about. We're going to be talking about martial arts and hand-to-hand combat and its role and importance in self-defense. Because despite what some of you who are rational thinkers may believe or even understand, there are a lot of people out there who don't believe that hand-to-hand combat is a necessity for self-defense. A lot of these people out here think that if you have a gun or you have a knife or a pepper spray or a taser, that's all you need. You don't have to learn any sort of physical skill to defend yourself. And this video is just basically saying that that's a complete load of crap. And we're going to cover a couple points. First, the first reason that hand-to-hand combat is necessary for self-defense that we're going to cover is it's basically based around the 21-foot rule. 21-foot rule basically is within 21 feet, let's say an attacker is running at you with a knife drawn, ready to stab you. If he is inside of 21 feet running at you, then you generally will not be able to unholster your weapon, aim, and fire before he gets to you and starts stabbing you. That highlights the first problem with not having hand-to-hand self-defense capability is any weapon you have, whether it be a knife, a gun, taser, a stun gun, or whatever, all that stuff has to be drawn, taking precious times away from your ability to start applying self-defense tactics to keep yourself safe. And that's for 21 feet. You can't do that within 21 feet. Most attacks are going to be really within 3 to 5 feet, not even within 10, you know? So, if you think that some dude's going to be in your face, you know, yelling at you, or he's going to pull a knife on you without you being aware of it and demand your wallet, if you think, which you shouldn't defend, you should just give him the wallet, but that's a whole nother story. As example, if he's got the knife on you, he's within 5 feet, there's no way in hell you're going to draw anything and start defending yourself. He's going to stab you the second you reach down. The reason hand-to-hand self-defense is necessary is because it doesn't need to be drawn. It can be immediately employed and deployed. It's effective, you know, it's quick, it's legally defensible, more so than using complete lethal force and blowing a guy's head off or stabbing him. It's just better. And for those of you who try to counter this, you know, in the comments with pulling out a gun and then trying to use weapon retention tactics or something like that, because not only can they, you know, attack you with their weapon, if they don't have one and they're trying to fight you hand to hand, they can take your weapon while you're trying to draw it while it's down here. They'll just press your arm against you and punch you in the face with a knife, gun, or whatever you've got. For those of you who try to pull that weapon retention bullshit, that doesn't work. It works sometimes in very specific circumstances if you're lucky, if you're dealing with someone who's drunk or someone who's very incapable, which those people you probably shouldn't be shooting in the first place or stabbing. That's a whole legal issue. But against someone who's coherent, someone who's experienced at robbing people, who's experienced using force against individuals, you know, that's not going to work. Because it focuses too much on getting away and using your weapon instead of incapacitating the person and then getting away to use a weapon while it's easiest. You know, if you don't put them out of commission first, then let's say you can like grab them and throw them off you and get to aiming, they can easily, if they have any sort of experience with dealing with force, just run at you and get right back in the situation with you before you can get off a shot, nullifying that completely. Weapon retention is too based on the weapon. Weapon retention should be using hand-to-hand skills until you've incapacitated the threat enough to pull out your weapon and use it. But that's why I'm making this video, because that's important. So that's the number one reason. And it kind of leads into number two reason, which would have been that they can take the weapon from you. You know, they can always grab it. But we kind of hit two birds with one stone there, so I guess we'll move on to number 3, which is the fact that you will have to use a weapon. It's not easy to just shoot somebody for most people, unless you're a psychopath or you just have a really, a really alternative moral code. A lot of people can't just get to grips shooting someone or stabbing them, and those that do can't do it accurately. So, the third reason you need martial arts, in addition to the first two of using something so you can use a weapon and maintaining control of your weapon in close quarters, would be stress management. You can do gun stress drills all day long. You can do knife fighting drills all day long. You'll get the adrenaline, the stress of that, but the actual connection of doing something that will immediately harm another individual, you can't really get that from shooting practice because you're not actually harming something. You can't get that from knife work because you're not actually stabbing someone. But you can get that from punching someone in the face because you're punching someone in the face. It's immediate feedback of this action will harm that person. It even has more feedback because you can feel your fist contact with them. That will allow you to get used to harming an individual. That will allow you to get used to dealing with the threat of being harmed, to actively deal with it. Because guns and knives are too one-sided. It's not a two-sided conflict. It's more so is with knives, but there's not really many ways other than like paintball for you to simulate shooting at someone and having another threat be coming at you. So that is a necessity for self-defense. Those stress drills will not teach you that from guns and knives. Only hand-to-hand combat training can teach you that, and that's why the military, bad as their hand-to-hand combat system is with MACP and MICMAP, that's why they have that, because that is how you teach someone to kill another person. You have to make them do it hands-on. It's the best way to do it. Because those people aren't getting in fights with, they're not going out there and using that stuff. The Marines and the Army, not usually. Now, Navy SEALs or people who have to, dispatch sentries, maybe. But not Marines and stuff. They do that to teach them the aggressive nature of killing. The violence of it all. So that is the third and one of the most important reasons. But they're all equally important. But to sum this all up, you really, really, if you want to have a full self-defense curriculum, you have to include hand-to-hand combat. There's no way around it. So that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. You guys remember to rate, comment, subscribe, like the video. Tell me your experiences with violence. Tell me what you think about this. If you have any points that you feel like I didn't cover here, if you have any counterpoints to what I'm saying, let me know. But this is the Violence Enthusiast signing off. See ya.